Slow living in today's society can sometimes feel impossible. We have jobs and families. We have bigger houses, bigger debts, and bigger to-do lists, resulting oftentimes in a lot more stress. If you're new here, my name is Carly and I am a wife, mother, and high school English teacher. I create weekly videos over here on YouTube around all things cozy, and one of the things I'm really passionate about in life is romanticizing your day-to-day while on a budget, and slow living is at the core of that. One of the things that I've been really working on over the last year in particular has been trying to find daily slow living rhythms and rituals amongst the confines of my life in its current existence. So today I want to share with you some of my slow living habits that are really helping to bring joy and peace to my everyday. So if you haven't already, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into the video. Habit number one is my daily dog walk without my phone. Now, I am the type of multitasking, layer it, get it all done type person where I would often take the dog / Hunter for a walk in the pram each morning and afternoon, and I would multitask that with listening to a podcast in my earphones, and I felt really good about myself that I was getting something done. Listening to a podcast I enjoyed whilst going for a walk. But I really just felt like it was starting my day in a state of overstimulation, which was likely just going to escalate throughout the day anyway, and that I wasn't truly being present during the walk. I wasn't noticing all of the things around me. I wasn't really paying too much attention to my son or my dog. I was in my own zone of whatever was happening in this podcast. And not saying that there's anything wrong with doing that, but I just felt like for me it was too much noise at the start of the day, and I really just needed to cut out that extra noise and be present in that moment. And when I did, I started to notice so many beautiful things on my walk. The flowers that were coming out in the springtime, the sounds of the birds, the movement from one house to the next, what my son was saying or singing, or funny little things that were happening on the walk. And yes, it means that I'm behind on some of my podcast listening, but I just feel like it really created that sense of presence and mindfulness on the walk and made it a lot more enjoyable. Habit number two is actually just putting less on my plate on a day-to-day basis. Likewise, I want to get it all done. I would, if I could, have a to-do list a mile long each day that includes ginormous things and minute things. But I've realized that sometimes you really need to pare it back to what are the essential things that I need to get done today and ditch the rest. You don't need to be going here, there, and everywhere. It doesn't need to be a jam-packed day. It doesn't need to be a day where you get to the end of it and you're exhausted, but at least you've ticked all the things off the to-do list. It has been about lowering the expectations, particularly for myself, and that's created a lot of relief. And it's also provided a lot more moments and movement and space throughout the day for just things to happen, just spontaneously. Habit number three is putting the house to bed each night. I am the type that I like to go into my room and retreat into that space for some real nourishing time where I can color and I can read and I can stretch and I can do my skincare. But before I get into that calming zone where I'm filling up my cup, I want to go around and I just want to make sure everything's in its place. The dishwasher's stacked, maybe it's going. The washing machine is full, ready to be turned on the next day. The kitchen is wiped down and I can just go to sleep knowing that my house is tidy, and that for me creates a really calm mind and allows me to just step into my own time with a lot more presence and less anxiety, and to go to sleep that way as well. Habit number four is one that I'm still trying to work on, and that is to wake up before my son. I feel like If I let it, the mornings can be a chaotic time. So I do try wherever I can to prep some sort of breakfast either the night or the afternoon before. So it's sort of good to go for him the next morning. And I'm not like having to rush on things to get breakfast for someone who wants to eat right now. But I also, wherever possible, like to wake up before him so that I can have time to like start the day at my own speed. And I'm the type of person that when I wake up, I'm feeling very groggy. The thoughts, the speech, like none of it is quite coherent. So if I am being like literally launched into my day by a small human who is just seemed to be like a ball of energy at that time, it feels like really like a whiplash almost. And so wherever possible, just trying to wake up a little bit slower and carve out that time for myself to start the day at my own speed really just make sure I'm not feeling overstimulated from the get-go. My next habit is to lean into all things seasonal. I never paid too much attention growing up or even as a young adult to the seasons. I knew that they were there. I saw the subtle changes in the environment. I was excited about the different holidays that may come in each season, or my birthday in winter, Christmas in the summertime. But I never paid too much attention to how we could take like symbolism or lessons from nature from that season. And I've really been leaning into that a lot over the last couple of years. For me, that has meant creating my seasonal bucket list, decorating the home for the season, leaning a little bit more into seasonal fruits and vegetables, seasonal cooking and baking. Really just trying to tune into what lessons or growth there are to learn from each and every season. If you are not new to my channel, you would know that I am a big advocate for the cozy hobby. Now, for a long chunk of my adult life, I felt like I didn't have time for these cozy hobbies. And the truth is, I sometimes didn't have energy for them. I sometimes didn't have money for them. I sometimes didn't have the space in my own like mental scape to allow myself to be creative or to relax. And now that I'm really getting into cozy hobbies, I feel like it's just awakened a whole new realm of myself where I can just be curious, I can be creative, I can be slow, mindful, and intentional. So things like reading, obviously, writing, coloring, doing puzzles, baking, all of these things, gardening. Try something new. You may uncover a whole new hobby, a new side of yourself that you have never discovered before, and a new love and something that can add whimsy and romance to your everyday. My next habit is to get outdoors. Now, I lived in Jervis Bay for 7 years. Hymes Beach was literally like a 5-minute or less drive away. Booderee National Park, same deal. And I truly did not get out and explore as much as what I should have. And I feel like I've almost missed appreciating that beauty that was around me to its full extent. Since moving back down the coast and having my son, getting outdoors has just been such a breath of fresh air, quite literally. I've been able to enjoy spending time with him out in nature. It just provides like such clarity. Not to mention vitamin D, being able to explore your local area, not being cooped up inside all the time, which was something that I was very comfortable doing for quite some time. Getting outdoors has really challenged me to get outside of my comfort zone, to find beauty all around me, and to be curious, to look at the world through a child's eyes. And my final slow living habit is to live more frugally. Now, if you're new around here, you may not know, but I have been attempting a low buy year. I've definitely had a lot of success in that, but I've had a lot of failure or challenges, hurdles that I need to overcome along the way. And it's really made me assess my own perception of money and things and consumerism and the feeling of like having to portray a particular aesthetic or vibe online and show the things that you purchase and to present yourself and to look a certain way. So it's definitely doing a lot more of a deeper like internal work and shift within me than just trying to save money and consume less stuff. It's also made me realize that there is so much fun that can be had for free or for cheap, if only you know where to look. So those are my top slow living habits that I'm really loving at the moment. I'm sure that there are probably some more that kind of weave their way into my daily life, but for some reason I am blanking on them right now. But I would love some more slow living inspiration. So if you have any habits, routines, or rituals that are really sustaining you and allowing you those pockets of peace throughout your everyday, I'd love it if you could list those in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I upload new ones every single week. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.